Hey friends, it's Ruben with Hi-Fi MIDI. Thanks for joining me for this live review of VI's Modern D, which is a sampled 2021 New York Steinway D concert grand piano. Now, there's no shortage of piano sample libraries on the market, and it really takes a lot to get me to review one of these. And whenever VI Labs reached out to me and asked me to review this or to check it out, I was a little apprehensive, because there are so many good piano libraries on the market. It's like, what does this have to offer? And they said it was the most advanced piano that they've ever made. So I thought, let me try it out. And you know what? They were right. So I want to show you this piano, how beautiful it is, and go through some of its features. Now, as a pianist, you have to play on a real piano in order to really hear the difference between the piano sample libraries. It's just like a guitarist. If you play the real thing, you can hear what makes it sound real or what makes it sound fake. And this one is incredibly accurate, incredibly close to the real piano. So just a few facts about this. For those of you who have been following my channel, VI Labs is the creator of Ravenscroft 275, which is one of my all-time favorite piano sample libraries. And this one is actually more advanced than that. So this includes over 34,000 samples, originally 118 gigabytes in wave, but compressed to only 18 gigabytes due to lossless FLAC compression. This is crazy. So what they're saying is that this is 118 gigabytes of samples. That is a lot, but they compress it down to 18, and because of the type of compression that it uses, your computer unpacks all those samples in real time, and you can't even detect it, but it makes it so that it sounds very detailed. Anyway, if you're out there, please say hello, and I want to see who's in the chat, and just before I start. Now, one of the complaints I have about the UVI workstation is, and I hope somebody corrects me if I'm wrong, is you can't resize it. So my eyes are struggling a little bit to see the details of this interface, and I'm going to go ahead and raise this just a little bit. I should have just zoomed in with OBS. But anyway, it comes with multiple mics. So you have your close U87, your Hammers mic, which is Neumann M49, and a player mic, which is a C414, that's an AKG. The side mics, a 4006, I don't know what that is actually, and then room, it's MK2H. So you're going to get different sound images. So this is what it sounds like right out of the box, close U87. Hi Janice, nice to see you again. This is the close U87. Now, there are a few things that I listen to when testing out a piano sample library. One of them is the feel. How does each note feel whenever you press the key? And I'm talking about from soft dynamics to loud dynamics. This one feels very smooth and very responsive. Now, sound-wise, it's a Steinway piano. It's been recorded really well because Steinways have this very balanced sound. Whenever you play it softly, you get a very warm, rounded sound. As you hit it harder, it brightens up a bit. It becomes more lively, and that's the magic of Steinways. As opposed to, let's say, a Yamaha that has a sparkly or shimmery sound throughout the entire key bed, all the dynamics. So another thing I listen for is the range of the dynamic sounds. When I play pianissimo, does it give me that pianissimo sound back? So let's test it out. I'm not sure if you can hear this. It's magical. And what I love about the close mic setting is, first of all, the stereo imaging on it. It's like if you have two mics in front of you and you're just listening to the sound as the player. That's a beautiful, beautiful sound. Hi, Joey. Thanks for joining us from Ireland. That's cool. By the way, I'm sorry. I was supposed to do this at 9 o'clock my time, and now it's 3 p.m. I just got carried away with the day. Now let's test out the higher notes. Now let's listen to the piano, the soft dynamics all the way to loud. Now you're not going to really hear that until you hear the room sound. So I'm going to go ahead and change the mics. I love this feature that you have 3 miking options. 3 mic combination options, I should say, because you have 5 mics. The second one here is hammer. And I'm going to go ahead and just switch it right here. Hammer is going to be closer to the actual hammer, so you're going to get more of that thud sound. And this is really nice when combining with the close mic. It gives it more of a wooden, heavy feel. Now, I usually don't use that by itself. I combine it with the close, and I'll show you that later. The next one is the player. I need to correct myself. The player is the actual mics, I think, left and right in front of the actual player. And close is going to be... I need to check that out. I need to confirm that. But anyway, let's hear the player. And you can see right here, this is updating where the player mic's actually at the player's ear level. And, oh, I see. The close mic is actually inside the piano. You can see one right here and one right here. So here, this is a treble mic and this is a bass mic. So with the player mic, you're actually going to get more of that stereo sound or that binaural sound. Would it be more advantageous to use a weighted keyboard rather than a standard key? Yes, for piano. So this keyboard that I'm using right here is the Control S88 Mark II by Native Instruments. I don't recommend this one if you're focusing on piano. As a matter of fact, it's making it a little bit difficult for me to play the way that I usually play. I have another keyboard here. Let me switch views real quick. This is a Yamaha P515, and that one has grand piano action. It's a lot easier to play for piano. The one that I'm using is sort of a middle of the road. It is weighted, but it's weighted in such a way where you can play synth, you can play organ, and this is very easy to do. But it doesn't feel right for grand piano. It doesn't have that authentic attack. It's still good. It's a good MIDI keyboard. So listen how, when I go from left to right, you're going to hear that sound travel. And this produces a really cool effect on a recording if you have it in stereo. Oh, this is a gorgeous keyboard, and I'll show you why just later on. Let's listen to the side. This is going to be a little further away from the piano, so that's going to give you less of that body. Oh, this is beautiful. It gets rid of that stereo sound too. Has more of a transparent sound, if I can describe it like that. I was wondering where that was going. So one of the things I look for in a piano sample library or any virtual instrument is how inspiring is it? Does it make me want to create music? Does it move me when I listen to it? And this one was one of those, but not in this setting. I'm going to change the mic really quick. And this is a room mic, so you're going to get less of that direct sound of the piano and a little bit of more of that tail from the room. And you can really hear it with the staccato notes. It's gorgeous. Now up here on the left side, we have the preset area. And the preset area is going to give you presets with different mic combinations and piano settings. So I'm going to choose mic and effects. And I always like to listen to the cinematic one. And this is Cinescape Una Corda. And I'm going to tell you what Una Corda is right now. But usually with cinematic piano sounds, there's a smaller dynamic range. Sounds more compressed, and it usually has a lot of reverb. So here it's using Gothic Cathedral, and here's a reverb down here. Let me play that for you. Oh, that is just magical. Now, what is una corda? For those of you who are not familiar with the piano, there are usually 3 pedals on a real piano. And the first one is the una corda pedal. Una corda means 1 string. So piano keys or piano has about 2 to 3 strings per note or per key. This is to give it more volume. Una corda shifts the piano keys or the hammers so that they're hitting fewer strings, thus lowering the dynamic of the sound or lowering the volume of the sound. So una corda lets you play the piano as softly as possible. And when you go down here, you can turn it on and load the samples. Or if you have a triple pedal and a triple pedal enabled keyboard, you can trigger the una corda sound. And here it is. This is very soft. So here's without. Hi, Greg. I believe you. So now we can get the full volume of this keyboard, the full power, when we turn that una quarter off. All right, let's go through some of the other sounds here. Down here we have muted strikes, and let's listen to that. I'm going to load it, and then it's already engaged. Actually, I don't think it is. This is just another cool effect that you can have with this piano. Imagine laying your hand on the strings of the piano, so you have the open lid, and then you rest your hand over the keys, immediately cutting off that note. A really cool effect to have. Next we have half pedaling. Now I don't have a half pedal on my keyboard, but what half pedaling is or having a sample library that enables half pedaling. On a standard keyboard you have on and off for the sustain pedal, so it's the notes either sustaining or it gets cut off, and half pedaling allows you to have a transition between those. On a real piano, what this does is it doesn't fully sustain a note, but it kind of lets it die down slowly. So if you want a note just to drag out just a little bit, you can use half pedaling technique. Let me see if I can hear this. So I'm going to release the note, and I'm going to turn off the reverb. You hear how quickly it dies? When I fully pedal, that's how it sounds, obviously. It's going to hold the note. But when I half pedal, let's see if this works. So I think I would have to program it because this keyboard doesn't allow half pedaling, to my knowledge. All right, so let's go on. Over here on the left side, we have little detailed controls or detail controls that add more realism to the piano sound. Here we have the release volume. Release volume or release samples are not a new thing on the piano. When you let go of the key, there's this little thud sound that you hear. Little. Let's see. It's like. Vroom. I think that's the sound of the felt dampening the note. Here it is with it off. You can hear a stark difference. And then here we have key noise. I'm not sure if this is the sound of the finger hitting the key. I think I prefer with it off. I prefer it with it off. Silent strike is it's kind of a weird one. You really hear this when you barely hit the keys. Let me see. I'm not getting it right now. There was one that had a weird sample sound whenever I barely pressed the key. I'll get back to that one. Sympathetic resonance is it's not new. When I hold a key down like this, and then I press one an octave higher or lower, you get this extra ring, these extra harmonics in the piano. You can hear that little tail. What this does is adds richness to the overall sound. So when you're playing like this, you're not just hearing the notes themselves, the samples, you're hearing also the sympathetic resonance, which adds more to the character of the sound, and it sounds more realistic. Now over here on the right side, we have pedal noise, which is a very common. Pedal resonance, so this is going to be the resonance of when you actually apply the pedal. Let's hear the difference. So you hear more of a ring. The pedal noise is going to be the dampers lifting and falling. It's sort of like the piano breathing. And then I'm going to go down here to repetition strikes. So this is one thing that I just recently learned, is that there's a difference between the sound of a note when you hit it from a dead start and when you repeat it. The sound of that note being interrupted by another hit. This repetition strikes detects that and actually plays a different sample, so giving you a more realistic playback. But with it on, it's going to use more resources. Let's try it with it off. So that to me sounds like just the same note, like starting over and over, while as this one sounds like the note being interrupted by a different strike. It's very subtle, but all of these adding together gives it a more realistic sound. All right, let's explore some different presets. Here is a concert. Oh, then never mind. I don't want a concerto. Complete classical. This is going to have more of a room sound. And let's see what else it has. So it has hammers, side, and room. This is going to be a fuller sound. Oh, it's still loading. Excuse me. Then over here, I'm going to go to this top right section. You have different tuning presets, and this is becoming more common for period compositions, meaning compositions that are trying to be accurate for a certain musical period. We have different tunings. So and these are going to feel off to some of you. Let's see which one is going to be the weirdest. That one feels off to me. My ears are not used to it. But you can tune it yourself right here. And then tune it right here. I'm going to go back to equal temperament. My ears are just too used to that. Then you can adjust the MIDI response and the compression. So I'm going to do a couple of more settings here. Oh, I forgot to mention over here we have the stereo spread EQ, and it opens up this beautiful window. And then we have a bunch of different reverbs. How many reverbs does it say? So 37 convolution reverbs. So real space. I want to play a nice. I already played Bright Chapel. I dumped garbage. What a name. Let me try this water glass effect. Actually, I'm gonna choose a player and close. What is water glass? Thank you. Thank you so much. Ooh, this sounds weird. It does sound like it's inside of a glass of water. Let's see. It brings out certain frequencies, certain resonance I don't really like. Let's see. Here is Piano Hall. Now, I would recommend this more for cinematic and classical, but as far as pop, Steinway does not really sound like a pop type of piano. Neither does it sound like a rock type of piano. So I would be very careful if you're wanting this for that type of music. I don't recommend it for that sound. You can brighten up the sound. So let's hear it. Let's hear it with just a player miking. Maybe we can get a good sound out of it for that type of music. And then we'll brighten it up. Where's the EQ? Left, right. I need glasses. Oh, and I'm starting to see this on a lot of pianos is timbre shift, tone, and width. So the width is going to be your stereo imaging. Does it sound monophonic or does it sound spread out? This is more monophonic. This is more spread out. And the tone is going to be dark or bright. Sort of like a filter. And then timbre shift is going to, I think it's going to take the samples and shift them or tune them up. So it takes, like, let's say it takes the B sample and you can tune it up to C, which is going to change the character of the sound. Whoa. You know what? That actually makes it so that it sounds great for pop or for rock. It has an interesting sound, huh? Let's go down a little bit. It's almost like getting a whole new piano sound. But I think that's a little too harsh for me. Okay. Sounding better. I think I prefer the original sound though. Another way you can affect the tone is through the EQ, and I think I already did that. That's probably why it sounded so buzzy. So let me know in the comments what you think about this piano so far. I'm gonna explore it more these days, and then I'm gonna try to create some music with this because so far I really love what I'm hearing. Effects only, mics. Let's do one more. One more. This is, let's see, New Age Ambient. Let's go ahead and try this one. By the way, if I didn't mention this, this works with the free UVI player. So if you buy this, and I have the link in the description, which is not an affiliate link. I'm not making any money off of this other than YouTube ad revenue, which is probably like $1 or $2. There's a link to buy this. You get, all you need is a UVI workstation, and that's a free software that comes with it. But if you have Falcon, Falcon is a more advanced synth engine. It also can hold these libraries. So it's not a contact instrument, just in case you're wondering. Oh yeah, the first time I got this, I started playing something on the piano. Well, obviously, right? I started playing this tune. I don't know if I made it up or not. You never know these days because it's hard to be original, right? I'm gonna try to remember that. There you go. I think I'm starting to remember it. A very inspiring piano. And how much does it cost? This is $249. It is a professional piano and with lots of advanced features. So I am not surprised by the price, especially considering it's 180 gigabytes worth of samples, even though it's in an 18 gigabyte pack. Well, friends, let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Let me know if you like it or not. And thanks for watching this. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to stay up to date with my latest videos. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to review Claire by Native Instruments. Either that or an electric guitar by them. I forgot the name of it right now. It's I'm not gonna try to make it up. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.